Hiya folks, welcome back to the channel. So today we are taking our first flight out of Heathrow on VATSIM. Now this is something I've put off for some time. I've kind of been half afraid to do it, if I'm totally honest with you. I've become quite used to flying in and out of Gatwick, and Gatwick's almost become like my spiritual home, I guess, on VATSIM. Whereas Heathrow, I don't know, there's something about Heathrow that I've always found a bit intimidating. I've always, I don't know, I think after messing up that time in Dublin, I've always been a little bit wary of trying new airports, because I remember that day I flew into Dublin, thought nothing of it, flew out of Gatwick, everything was fine, thought, oh, I'll just quickly hop over to Dublin, it's a quick easy flight, got on the ground, and suddenly I was like, oh no, wait, I need to like taxi to the gate. I didn't anticipate that, and as a result I made a bit of a mess of it, which wasn't great. So I've always been really wary ever since, and I want to try and break that fear, because I feel like sometimes I'll think, oh, where shall I fly? And I think, oh no, I won't fly into there because it looks too complicated when I land. And then I'll just not do it. And I'm fed up of just not doing it. So we're going to give it a go. We're going to see if we can get ourselves out of Heathrow. We've got Tower online, which will also be controlling ground. And we'll see if we can make our way over to Dubai, which is where we're heading, without any drama. So I'm going to head on into the cockpit. We'll get the plane set up and we will get moving. All right, just checking out Volanta, and you can see us here at gate 555. If we zoom out, you can obviously see a lot of other planes around. This is all, VATSIM traffic. So this is all, it's looking quite busy, and there's a lot of taxiway between me and runway 27 right, which is where we're going to need to go. So hopefully we don't make a giant mess of things. I really don't want to mess this up. I also must thank Orbx. They very kindly have provided us with a free month of Volanta Premium to check out on the channel. We'll talk a little bit more about that once we get into cruise. But yeah, massive thanks to Orbx for that. I can't put it off any longer, so I'm going to have to get started and see if we can make our way to 27 right without any issue. First things first, we need a battery. We will turn on our primary external power because we're connected to a GPU, and our secondary, and we'll get our Adiru turned on. Now, you've got to be a little bit patient with the 777. It is a complex airliner after all, and its kind of complexities are simulated. So you can't just, it's not just going to magically come to life because we've clicked a few buttons. It is going to boot up in the same way that the real plane would boot up. It does take a minute, so we'll be patient. All right, over to the EFB, and we are just requesting our SimBrief data, so that's pulling that in all very nicely. That's good. And now over to the FMC. Now that's booted up, we can click into the FMC button. That's fine. We'll go to the POSINIT page, and we'll now set our initial position, and we can take this GPS position here by clicking on that. It then puts the value into the scratch pad and then pop that into our initial position. We can put in our reference airport, so we're at Heathrow EGLL. And we are at gate 555. And you can see it's got kind of like longitude, latitude positions for all of this stuff. Now's a really good time just to look at all of these and make sure that one isn't wildly different from the other, because that would indicate, something's up. But all looking good, and we can move on. All right, moving over to the route page, and we can request our route. And we can select it from SimBrief because the plane is connected to our SimBrief account, which is really nice. I like that a lot. And we can click Set Payload, and we can select Set Fuel. That's going to look at the payload and the fuel that's been set into SimBrief and apply that to the plane. Now we can go to Select RTE, which is Select Route. Wait for route requesting to complete. We just got to give that a minute. Things don't happen instantly in this plane. Just like the real plane, it does take a minute, and it's nice that that's been simulated. There we go. Now that's finished, we can click load. And again, you might have to have a little bit of a wait. Give it just a second. There it is. And now we've got the activate ready. And now we can execute that. Next up, following over here, basically just kind of follow the bottom right here. Take us to our Perfinit. And because we've connected the plane to our SimBrief account, and it kind of knows what our zero fuel weight should be, if we just click this button here, you see it's put a value into the scratch pad. Click it again. Puts the zero fuel weight in, nice and easy. And then once you're happy, click accept. Over to the legs page, go to route data, and we will click wind data load. That's going to load in all the wind data that the plane has access to, and execute that. Now we've got a load of W's down here, and that basically means there is wind data for all of these waypoints. Over to the FMC com page, and we can uplink our descent forecast. Click load. Be patient. There it is. Now to our departures and arrivals. This is the point really where if you were flying offline, you could just start saying, oh, I'm going to use this runway, I'm going to use this SID. But actually we're on VATSIM today, so we should probably get clearance, which will then give us some more information about what we're actually going to do. We are expecting 27 right with the det to Foxtrot departure. But you never know until you've actually heard it from ATC, so we'll get in contact with them and see what's going on. All right, we've got Heathrow Tower tuned. There's no ground on at the moment, so given the way VATSIM works, Tower also does ground. So we will get in contact, get our IFR clearance, and we will hopefully be in business. Heathrow Tower, good morning, Air Not 121 at stand 555. Information hotel on board, aircraft type 777-300 ER, requesting IFR clearance to Dubai, please.
Air Not, Pacific, of course. Air Not 121, Heathrow Tower, hello, cleared Dubai. Detling 2 Foxtrot departure, score 2035.
Det 2 Foxtrot departure, squawk 2035 and 121.
Air Not 121, read back correct.
Hey, we did it. We didn't mess it up. There we go. So I can see from the ATIS on Heathrow on VATSIM that we're using 27 right for departure, and there is our Det 2 Foxtrot departure. Execute that, and then I mean it's taken a bit of a risk because Dubai is so far away and so long away, but the current projected arrival is 30 left on the what is it on the Vute 3 Delta arrival, and we'll transition at ODOT. Of course, that may change as we carry on through the route. It may be that, you know, I don't even know if VATSIM's online in Dubai at the moment. I don't think it was last time I checked, but there's so much that could change between now and Dubai, but I'll get it in the computer. It can't hurt being there, and we can always change it once we're en route. So with that in mind, let's put ourselves into plan mode up here. We're on the legs page, and now you can see we've got a little step button, so we can just kind of step through our route, make sure that everything is in order and there's no kind of obvious errors or gaps or anything like that. That's a long old route, isn't it? Okay, there's the VUTEB waypoint. That's kind of part of our star into Dubai. So what is it? That's it. You kind of cut across the airfield, up and around, do a nice U-turn, and you're in. And then this is our missed approach. We can hold at Egnot if we get into trouble. Good. Okay, back up to the top panel then. We can turn on the in-flight entertainment and the cabin utilities. Get our emergency lights armed and guarded. Get the window heats on. Now the hydraulics, I'm not fully understanding how it works. I just know that there's a certain way to do it. So we will start by putting on the right elect demand pump to auto. This, I believe, will give us hydraulic pressure to the brake system. All right, let's set our runway heading 269. Alrighty, 6,000 feet for our initial climb, because that is a limitation on our SID. Light directors on. We can arm LNAV and VNAV. Now, all the way over here, we've got our lower center screen just selected. We check on checklist. You can see here that we've got some things that we can check. So our oxygen, we can say we've tested because it's a sim. Parking brake we can set, and then we need to do our flight instrument, so that's our heading and our altimeter, which we have done. Checklist complete. There we go. Flight deck door is locked. Passenger signs we will do in a moment. Then we need to do our speeds, and what we need to do for our speeds is head over to the EFB. We've loaded our sim brief data in, as you can see here, but now we need to go to our performance tool. So we're going to take off runway 27 right. If we import all this information from the aircraft, import the weather, and calculate, it wants us to use TO2, flaps 5, and a selected temp of 45. So go to init ref, so we can start putting that in. So flaps 5, and we can do our center of gravity by clicking and clicking again. If we go to thrust limb, it wants us on TO2, and then it wanted us at 45 for our flex temperature, I believe. So that then gives us 161, 163, 166. Do they match what's over here? 161, 163, 166. Yes, they do. So then we can just sort of click these into here. And we are good to go. The trim it wants is at 4.75 and it defaults to 4 and it moves in 0.25 increments, I believe. Wrong way.
Explain it more carefully. Left and then right onto Alpha.
Left and then right. Thank you.
There we go. 4.75 is set. That's good. All right, let's get our V2 speed of 166 up here as well. It's time to get the passengers belted up, so we'll get the seatbelt signs on. No smoking is already on. Now look at that. You see what I was saying about passenger signs? It auto-sense that item, so us putting the seatbelt signs on, it's ticked that, so that's really nice. Taxi and takeoff briefing, I've had a good look at the charts. I'm feeling reasonably confident, so all that's left then is to flip on the beacon light when we are ready for our push and our start. Given that we're talking about push and start, the next thing to do is to get a APU fired up, and you'll see that our left forward fuel pump has turned itself on because the APU draws its fuel from that, so that's all really nice. Make sure all of our doors are closed. Again, that's all done through here, so if we go into the ground operations, close the passenger door, close the cargo doors. There we go. So now our APU has started. I don't know if you just saw that. The secondary ground power unit has gone to available, meaning it's no longer needed because the APU has taken up some of the slack. So that's good. What we can do then is we can now disconnect our primary ground power unit as well because we're now running on APU. The next thing to do is go into your ground connections and we can release the ground power unit from the plane as well. And finally, we need to get our hydraulic systems pressured. So you have to do it in a certain order to avoid problems with hydraulic pressures, sort of switching from left to right, I believe. Don't fully understand it, kind of just doing as I'm told. So C2 on, C1 on, left. Demand pump set to auto, then we do C1 air to auto, C2 air to auto. Our left fuel pump is on, our forward pump. Right fuel pump is on.
545, push it out of cruise, face north.
Do the aft pumps as well. Now I know that it seems like we're going a long way all the way to Dubai, but actually we don't need any fuel in our centre tanks today, so we're just going to run with the left and right pumps on. That's all we're going to need. Again, seems like a long way to Dubai. By 777 standards, kind of isn't. Alright, GSX is all good to go by the look of it, so now we just need to contact Tower and get our clearance to push. Heathrow Tower, Air 121, stand 555, ready for push and start.
Sorry, ticket, I'm looking for your call sign again. Oh, Air 121 after the British Airways 787 passes behind, right to left, pushes out approved, face north.
After the 787, push and start approved, facing north, Air 121, thanks. There it goes. That's who we're waiting for. Continue pushback, and we're going to face north on taxiway Charlie. Okay, let's get some engines started, shall we? So, up into the top panel, we will turn our left engine switch to start. And we will add the fuel. Okay, now we'll go put our right engine into start.
We'll go speed water 1.
And start the right engine.
November 304.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
There she goes. Such a big plane, isn't it? Crazy to think that really the 737 fuselage isn't much smaller than this engine that we're just looking at now out the window. It's just absolutely crazy. Beautiful airplane. Okay, now we're running on our engines. We can turn off our APU. Alright, I'm getting a tyre pressure warning. Well, I've just changed all the tyres over here, so I think we're good.
Yes,
just service all the things, I guess.
Avoid 777.
Heathrow Tower Air 121, ready for taxi.
So I keep on meaning to write this down. Air knot, here we are. Air knot 121. Taxi Bravo, hold Titan.
Bravo, hold Titan Air 121. Alright, so we're heading up onto Bravo. And we will make a right-hand turn here onto Bravo. And we're going to go all the way down to a waypoint called Titan. Heathrow being quite an interesting one for that. Has a lot of named waypoints. I think it's like a legacy thing. Okay, let's make use of the old Toby eye tracker.
436, taxi Alpha, hold Alpha 4.
Alright, let's see if I can practice my oversteering that I've been desperately trying to perfect. So again, the aim is to keep your back wheels, your main gear, on the taxi lines. We're not too worried about the nose gear.
Nor to fly 78 Tango.
So the plan is, I believe, to wait till it gets to around here, and then turn.
238, I believe, push that through face north.
Northwest 78 Tango, push back is approved face to
Not sure I did the greatest job of that. Don't know why we're getting that tyre pressure warning. I think it is because we've done a lot of landings in FSI panel in this plane, and it obviously isn't happy about the condition of the tyres, which is fine. I've basically done all of the service items I can, but I can't get that error to go away.
Air knot 121, continue taxi Titan Alpha, hold Alpha 3.
Titan Alpha, hold Alpha 3, Air knot 121. Alright, so that gives us, so obviously make this right turn here that's in front of us. Here's Titan. Then it's a left onto Alpha, I believe. And there's Alpha 3.
Air knot 121, line up runway 27 right, caution intersection departure ahead of you.
Line up 27 right, we'll be cautious of the intersection departure ahead of us, Air knot 121. Oh man, this is where the eye tracker really pays dividends, isn't it? There's that intersection departure, that's all good.
Seabird 8 Golf Bravo, ready taxi.
8 Golf Bravo, taxi Alpha, hold Alpha 4.
Alright, and turn.
Taxi Alpha, can we request the 4 lane if possible please, 8 Golf Bravo.
No problem at all, hold Alpha 3.
Thanks very much, Alpha, hold Alpha 3, do with 8 Golf Bravo.
Alright, now let's see if my I've lined myself up. I don't think I have I? I'm going to need to just ease off a little bit. Yeah, I made a mess of that. God, it's so difficult, isn't it? So difficult, and then you end up chewing up runway length, trying to compensate.
Air knot 121, runway 27 right, service wind 270 degrees, 10 knots, clear takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 27 right, Air knot 121.
Northwest 78 Tango on
thank you so much.
Thrust set. Let's go.
Very cool.
Such an undramatic takeoff.
The call sign is Northwest 78 Tango.
A little bit of forward yoke pressure. 80 knots.
After the British Airways plus left to right, taxi right on Bravo, hold Titan.
Coming up on V1.
V1.
Rotate.
Northwest 78 Tango after the taxiing British Airways, taxi Bravo, hold Titan.
Positive rate. Gear up.
with our first speedbird 171.
171, line up number 271.
Autopilot on.
279, speedbird 171.
Beautiful. Away we go.
Push start approved.
Heathrow Tower 1 to 340, requesting IFR clearance. We have information India on board on an Airbus 330-900 at ramp 243.
Oh, I got the rain as well. Perfect. Okay, that more or less marks the end of our Detling 2 Foxtrot SID. Quite a straightforward departure, really. Kind of out of Heathrow, make a turn, and you just pretty much sit at 6,000 feet in a straight line until you reach here. Now, when we cross the Detling waypoint, our plane should automatically begin to climb because we have 37,000 feet dialed in, which is our cruising altitude, and then the plane will gradually take us up to there, respecting all the different constraints along the way. Really, really nice. Let's just make sure it does it. Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. That's absolutely perfect. So what we're going to do, we're going to get ourselves up to cruise, and then at which point I'm going to start looking at enabling some of the auto cruise features of this aircraft, because it is a very, very long way to Dubai, and as much as I love flying with you all and for you all, I'm not about to sit here for 6 hours. I'm sorry. It just can't be done. Beautiful. So we're nearly at top of cruise, and just the sim looks so good sometimes, doesn't it? Like, you think back to what we had years ago, not that long ago, as simmers, and then you look at this. Sometimes you just gotta remember how good we got it sometimes. Anyway, let's have a look in the cockpit. So we're heading up to 37,000 feet, and we will be there in probably about 12, 13 miles. So really, really not far to go now. So let's talk about the auto cruise feature. If you look at your EFB, you'll notice there's a little button up the top here with auto cruise written on it. Click it. I'm going to turn on auto step climbs because what I think is important is, well, it's important that we talk about what step climbs are. So as the 777 burns fuel, it becomes lighter. As it becomes lighter, it's more efficient for it to go up to higher altitudes. So obviously, if we're going to put it into auto cruise mode and basically step away while it speeds up the cruise, we want it to be automatically doing those climbs, because otherwise we're burning more fuel unnecessarily. So that's quite an important point. I'm not going to pause it at top of descent. I'm going to keep an eye on things myself, and I'm going to do the maximum time compression up to 8x, because we're on a fairly beefy PC, and I think it can handle 8x without too much of an issue. If your system struggles, then you can obviously turn it down a bit to 4 or maybe even 2. And then when we're ready, we can flick this auto time compression on, and it will start speeding us up. Obviously, we're not on VATSIM. If you were on VATSIM, you wouldn't want to do auto step climbs, because if you're under ATC control, you need to be obviously checking in with them before you do anything regarding changing your flight level at all. So keep that in mind. I've disconnected from VATSIM for this portion of the flight. We're going to do the auto cruise, we're going to do the auto step climbs. When we get nearer to Dubai and there's stuff going on, we'll reconnect to VATSIM and make sure we're not going to cause a problem when we do. Because obviously we don't want to kind of respawn right on top of somebody that's also in cruise. That would be super annoying. So we need to be a little bit responsible when we do reconnect. But I think this is probably going to be my kind of flow for doing long haul flights on the sim, because I just can't. I haven't got the time, even if I wanted to, and I don't want to. But even if I had the time and I wanted to, or rather, even if I wanted to, I don't have the time. So this is going to have to be the way that we do it for now, until the freighter arrives, at which point we can fly the 777 freighter on these short haul-ish freight routes around Europe and not feel guilty about flying a 777 such short routes. Yeah, really looking forward to the freighter. Anyway, let's just check where we are. We should have crossed top of cruise. Yeah, we're literally just about to. Or top of climb, I should say. Starting at 350, then I think we've got a step climb, and that'll take us up to 370. Then 390, and then we start bringing ourselves back down. That's fine. Do I need to put 390 up here just to ensure the plane actually does it? Because I can put something higher than our current cruise in, and it won't do it until it's time. Don't know. Alright, let's leave a comment if you know about that, by the way. That'd be really helpful. Let's turn on automatic time compression. You see the sim rates at 1x, 2x, 4x. Is it going to go to 8? It may not do. 8x, there it goes. And now we can whiz our way along to Dubai in absolutely no time whatsoever. All right, folks, we are most of the way to Dubai. We're around about 300 miles, I believe, away from top of descent. And you can see we've got Dubai approach on as well as Dubai ground. So 30 left, according to the ATIS, seems to be what's going on. So nice, lovely straight approach into Dubai. I love how kind of straight and organised their approach paths are. Then once we get into Dubai, I'm kind of living in hope that we can kind of come off of 30 left here, make a left, and then straight into a gate. Because a little bit apprehensive about taxiing around Dubai. I'm not really familiar with it, so we'll have to see what happens there. Obviously, I kind of thought about today quite a lot in the context of not making a mess of things at Heathrow, but actually, seeing as we've got coverage on at Dubai, which I wasn't quite anticipating, actually the more challenging part of the video could be about to lay ahead of us. So we'll see what happens. Fingers and toes crossed, everyone, and I will talk to you just before top of descent as we start making our way into Dubai. Alrighty, we're now connected back to the VATSIM network. Looking at what's going on VATSIM, we now have UAE radar, Dubai approach and Dubai ground. So we're getting some really nice Dubai coverage as we come into land here at Dubai. So that's good. Not entirely sure what's going on out the window, whether that's cloud or what, but it all looks very fuzzy down there. I'm guessing that's cloud cover. So top of descent is in less than 10 miles. What I've done is looking at our flight plan here. We've got a period where we're going to be at 7,000 feet for quite some time, and we're going to end up at 2,000 feet. Aha! Contact me request from UAE radar. Please contact me on 132-150. 132-150. UAE radar Air 121 with you, flight level 390, 5 miles from top of descent.
Will you back for Beta 991, confirm descend 11,000, 11,000, the QNH 996.
Descend flight level 110, QNH 996, Beta 991.
Correct. The other station calling, call sign again, please.
Air 121, flight level 390, 5 miles from top of descent.
Knock 121, hello, UAE radar identified. Descend flight level 150, cleared VATSIM 3 Charlie arrival.
Flight level 150, cleared VATSIM 3 Charlie arrival?
That's correct.
Very good, I had Delta. Okay, so I want the VATSIM 3 Charlie arrival.
Hello, Turkish 2 November Tango identified. Climb flight level 380, direct to Mach.
Yeah, so sim brief and therefore everything else had Delta, but ATC rules.
Air 121, descend 11,000, 11,000, QNH Dubai 995.
Descend to 11,000, 11,000 QNH Dubai is 995, Air 121.
Air 121, contact Dubai arrivals 124.9, bye-bye.
124.9, Air 121. Dubai arrivals, Air 121 with you, flight level 150.
Air 121, Dubai arrivals, hello, you're cleared. Expect ILS approach runway 30 left, descend altitude 10,000 feet, speed 280 knots.
Apologies, could you repeat that? Broke up.
Air 121, expect ILS approach runway 30 left, descend altitude 10,000 feet, speed 280 knots.
Expect the ILS 30 left, descend to flight level 10,000, speed 280 knots, Air 121.
Air 121, descend altitude 8,000 feet, level by Patted, speed 230 knots.
Descend 8,000 feet, level by Patek, speed 230 knots, Air 121. There's the airport over there, look, you can just see it. Don't be confused with this one over here, that's not where we're going. We're heading over here, runway 30 left, so this runway here. And I'm hoping we can just turn off and go to the terminal there with minimal disruption.
Air 121, descend altitude 3,000 feet, speed 190 knots.
Descend 3,000 feet, speed 190 knots, Air 121.
Air 121, continue descend altitude 2,000 feet, expect shorter approach.
Continue descent to 2,000 feet, we'll expect a shorter approach, Air 121.
Air 121, turn right heading 210 degrees, base leg.
Turn right heading... Sorry, can you say the heading again?
210 degrees.
210 degrees, air not 121. Thank you.
Air not 121, turn right heading 270 degrees. Clear Dallas approach runway 30 left, report start list.
27 degrees, cleared ILS approach 30 left, air not 121.
Air not 121, surface winds 270 degrees, 10 knots, runway 30 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, 30 left, air not 121. Okay, before my spectacular landing into Dubai, we need to take a minute and thank Orbx for hooking us up with a month of Volanta Premium for us to check out together on the channel. I've been wanting to check this out for a little while, so it's actually really cool timing when Orbx reached out. For those that don't know, Volanta is a free flight tracking app, but for those wanting a bit more features, there is a premium option for $6 Australian and 35 cents a month, and it gives you a whole bunch of extra functionality. Key features include real-world schedules, which as of version 1.9 includes more flights, including cargo flights. Orbx say these schedules will be updated every week moving forward, so if you're looking for a little bit of route inspiration, this is a really, really great place to start. Aircraft images can now be pulled from plane spotters. They will automatically be fetched when you create an aircraft or can be triggered manually using the find image option on the aircraft. For your active flight, premium users can access aircraft image galleries. Your aircraft can now have multiple images, one from plane spotters and a number of manually uploaded ones. Now, one feature that I really like, and I want to check this out on the channel, is flight parties, which is where you and your buddies can kind of fly along together. You can party up with up to 10 people. You can send messages to each other. You can even draw annotations on the world map to just aid situational awareness. Easily copy flight plans and see party members' flight plans PDFs. And here's the thing, only the host needs to have Volanta Premium. What a cool feature. Other nice features include the ability to replay your flight data within Volanta, scrubbing through with a timeline. And this one could really save you in a pinch. Remote pause. So if, like me, you like to step away for your long hauls, but you aren't going to make it back in time, you can remotely pause your sim from any device. Keep in mind, if you're a Volanta Premium user, this could be the mobile version of Volanta, which is another feature in itself. You also get unlimited 4K screenshots in the cloud and a feature called Cloud Auto Save, which, if you have the planes that support it, could help you reclaim a flight after a crash to desktop versus having to start all over again. Anyway, thank you so much to Orbx for letting me check this out with Volanta Premium. I look forward to diving in more detail over the coming weeks. If you'd like to give Volanta Premium a try yourself, I'll leave a link in the video description. It's not an affiliate link, I don't get paid, but it does let Orbx know that I sent you their way. Anyway, we better get back to me attempting to land this 777 into Dubai. Thanks again, Orbx. Oh, dearie me. I can feel the stress. Not good at night. Honestly, I'm tempted just to let it auto land like a complete coward, but I think I need to do it, don't I? I think I need to do it.
1,000.
Alright. My plane. Autopilot off. My throttles. Picture's looking alright. Need to get over to the left just a touch. God, I really hate flying at night. Why did I choose this? Why didn't I fly across the pond? Something about landing on VATSIM, it just adds a whole nother layer of pressure that just wasn't ready for. I don't go too high now. Keep that rate of descent. You always do this. You always get to here and you panic and you level off. So I struggle to figure out where the touchdown markers are as well.
Approaching minimums. 200 minimums.
Continue. Oh, there they are.
30, 20, 10.
Oh, that wasn't great, but I'll take it. Yeah, I struggle to know where the actual markers are going to be at night. I need to get better at that. My night flying sucks. Still, smooth enough. Oh, lordy, right, now we've got the taxi. Oh, I'm so stressed. Okay, they're disarmed. Let's switch over to ground. I'm guessing we're going to come off here. Kilo 8. Air 121, 30 left, vacated.
Air 121, contact ground frequency 118.35.
11835, Air 121, thanks. What have I done? Dubai ground, Air 121 at Kilo 8, vacated 30 left.
Air 121 ground, hello. Where are you parking today?
We're not fussy, any way you like.
Okay. I'm going to take you around the whole airport then. Just kidding. Air 121 taxi Kilo stand at Foxtrot 25. Good afternoon.
Kilo to Foxtrot 25, thanks very much, Air 121.
Sure.
Okay, this should be alright actually.
322, are you able to join Uniform 5?
This should be alright, so Kilo, which is right here, onto Foxtrot 25, which is kind of as I hoped.
Are you able to join Uniform 5 or are you too far away to enter that intersection?
Foxtrot 25 is just here on the left. This is a good result.
Emirates 322, roger, disregard, standby.
Foxtrot 25.
Roger, Emirates 322, hold position.
Okay, is this going to be
Emirates
us?
39 Kilo, you ready for taxi? Yeah, we're just about to go.
Dubai ground, I think I've got a static aircraft in Foxtrot 25. Is it possible to take another gate? Air 121.
Air 121 affirm. Taxi straight ahead. Foxtrot 24. Good day.
Foxtrot 24, thanks very much, Air 121.
See ya.
Alright. Eye tracker time. Let's go. Yeah, I think that's a static aircraft, isn't it? I think that's static, given it's an A380. Look at all the 777s here, man. Like, after the PMDG's launched, you just know that this place is going to be heaving, don't you? Alright. Again, I'm just not getting these turns, this oversteering. It's a definite knack to it, isn't there? Let's take the runway turn-offs off. Oh, well, we made it. That landing was less than ideal. I feel like I never quite know where the touchdown markers are going to be in the dark. Like, you kind of see all those lights that kind of stretch out on the touchdown zone, but it never quite sure where I should be relative to that. I mean, we were down in the touchdown zone anyway. It just wasn't exactly a top draw example of a landing. Well, folks, we made it. Not the best example of a landing, not the best example of my parking either. Look where that nose wheel is. I overshot there a little bit. I've got to get better at landing at night. I think maybe some FSI panel at night is the thing to do. That will get us used to the landings. What it is, like where the touchdown markers are, I don't know where that is relative to all the lights that you see. I kind of get lost in the lights, and then I didn't quite pay attention to the glide slope, hence we got a glide slope call out. Wasn't the best, but we'll learn from it and we'll move on. That's what it's all about. It's just keep on learning, keep on getting better. But yeah, really enjoyed that flight, and glad to have gotten both Heathrow and Dubai under my belt. And again, it's like the controllers are good as gold, really. Like the VATSIM controllers as a whole, they're just, you know, remarkable people. Just if you get stuck, ask, they'll help you. And you're obviously going to get the odd one or two that are going to get grumpy, but on the whole, I'd say I've not had any problems so far. Even when I tragically messed up in Dublin, and we won't say any more about that. That's one of those other things that we'll never talk about that again. Yeah, the controller was very kind about it. Even emailed me afterwards to be like, hey, I saw your video, this is where you went wrong, this is what you should have done, don't worry about it, hope to see you again soon. Like, just super good people. I'm always really, you know, I feel very refreshed when I come on VATSIM, like just at the kindness of the controllers and how willing they are to help. It just makes for a very nice experience for everyone. But yeah, really glad to have gotten another flight in on the 777. I feel like I've mentioned Dublin. I feel like maybe the next kind of VATSIM video flight should be me returning to Dublin and seeing if I can not make a giant mess of it. I don't know. We'll see. Also, I suppose we need to go back the other way and land in Heathrow on VATSIM as well, because obviously taking off is one thing, landing is another. So maybe we'll catch up again with a flight out of Dubai back to Heathrow. But thank you so much for watching. Leave us a comment if you want to see more of these styles of videos, kind of like the full flight edited down VATSIM adventures. I very much enjoy doing them, and I'm led to believe that you like watching them based on our last poll that we did. I think like 70% of you voted for these as opposed to all the other categories of video I suggested. So I don't know. Let me know. Obviously things change over time, but I just think it's a really nice way to get to fly around on VATSIM and kind of share the highlights with you all, because I appreciate the live streams appeal to a certain crowd and I enjoy doing them, but it's it's a hard watch to sit there for like 3-4 hours and watch something that is no longer live if you're watching it after the fact. So don't know, lots to think about with the content on the channel, but I'm really enjoying myself with the channel at the moment and with this PMDG 777. So it's a good time indeed. I just need to work on those night landings, but that's something we can work on in due course. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you all so much for coming along. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your time, and I will see you on the next flight. And as always, happy flying.